Hello viewers, today's free item from the trash is a Campbell Hausfeld air compressor. This is a very large machine. I would suspect it's probably somewhere in the range of 10-12 gallons. It's absolutely filthy, so can't really read any of the information. I don't want to make a mess in the room right now, so I'm not going to clean it off in this particular video. Unfortunately, I'm not going to test it in this particular video either, because it's a 17 amp motor and I don't have a 20 amp circuit in here. I do have one on the other side of the room, so I can use it, but that's not going to be today's video. There's the information's on the motor. It is the gold Century motor. It can run on 115 or 230, and it's 3,450 RPM. Oops, I think this is 1.5 horsepower, and it's 17.8 amps at 110 and 8.9 amps at 220. So it definitely needs a 20 amp circuit, and even then it's getting close to the max. I use compressed air for cleaning stuff all the time, so this would be super useful. I have an air compressor. It's a smaller machine. I think I've done a video on it before, and it's only, I think, maybe a 2 gallon. And while the recovery is pretty fast, it is kind of slow to use it for the air sprayer. So this will be a big improvement over that machine, and I'll probably get a lot of use out of it. I tend to think that this still works. It took some abuse at some point here. This looks like it's having a problem. It's definitely bent. That's not to say it's leaking or broken. That probably should be replaced. This plastic thing is completely mangled. That's going to have to go. And this is the hose it came with. This may be able to have new fittings put on it. Maybe this too, I don't know. I'm not too concerned about that. The hosing is relatively inexpensive, and I'd be leery of using this hose anyways because the rubber deteriorates with time. The wiring has to be redone as well because it's super sketchy with tape all over it and everything. And of course I gotta look in the motor and see how it's configured to run. I don't know if it's configured for 110 or 220. Anyways, what we can do in this video is let's see if I can get that plastic thing off of there, and let's just see if everything turns. Looks like this is held on by a couple of clips here. Now this part actually sheared right off already. Okay. Not sure if that's part of the head or not. I think I'm going to leave that screwed in for now. Now this was leaking oil when I got it. It stopped leaking oil, so I'm not sure if that was just a leak because it was tilted the wrong way in the car, or because it's leaking. So we'll have to check the oil level too before we run this for any length of time. Okay, so here's the mechanics, and looks like everything turns. Is that some compression I just heard? Sure was. Yeah, sounds like it's working. I don't know. Is it spraying out the top here? don't feel any air coming out the top. Where's the inlet? Could be that up there. Maybe this filter here is the inlet. That's absolutely filthy. I don't know, I definitely hear air compressing. Hopefully it's just going into the tank like it's supposed to. Alright, well it's showing some promise. I suppose these bolts I could put back in here. It's going to take some effort to clean this up. This thing is filthy. Looks like the belt's still good. It's a little bit tight though. I'm not sure that tension is correct. I'll have to check that out. You know, I suppose this whole piece could just go, because I'm not gonna buy a new one of these. This is just like OSHA nonsense. I'm not worried about that. Of course, now it's so-called dangerous, but I don't care. I'm not worried about it. Because I think the reality is, if you fell onto the machine while it was running, that little plastic guard would just break anyways. I think we may have an oil level check on the other side here. Whoops. I don't want to open it now, but we do have some information here. I think that's the model number there, serial number, and I do even want to bet that's the oil plug right there. So, and maybe that's the fill plug. So that one I could probably open and not make a mess. And that looks like the fill plug, and that looks like the drain plug to me. Well, there's some information here. Probably says fill oil to bottom thread, I would guess of that. So, alright, well, that's going to be it for this video. This is much messier of a project than I want to take on today, so next video we'll check the wiring on the motor, and then we'll try and power it on.